Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's Week 10 in the NFL. This is Into the Weekend with BetDSI, the call we do every week with Brent, the headlines manager at DSI Sportsbook. Brent, thanks so much for once again being back with us this week. The first game I want to ask about Denver. Denver, of course, you told us last week, was a huge public side. Public got burned when Denver lost outright. Now they're a home favorite against KC coming off a bye. I'm guessing the public is coming right back and is huge on Denver again this week, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much to have Denver, right. getting the money. And we're line's down to they're 5.5 right now. You mentioned the Denver-Indianapolis game. I mean, I think we did the show on the Friday. Line was like 5.5, and I mean, you saw on Sunday what happened. It was basically Sunday afternoon that it just started crashing, closed like 3 and 3.5 and stuff like that. And the sharps were on Indianapolis. This week though, yeah, I mean, my wager count it's about 4-1 in favor of Denver, which is no surprise at all. My money is favoring Kansas City. Now, when I got a wager count of 4-1 in favor of Denver and money favoring Kansas City, you know what that means, Peter.
Yeah, sharp public split once again on Denver. I guess I'm not surprised to hear that. We had it last week. There have been sharp public splits earlier in the year where the sharp side was KC. Didn't cash, though. I remember against Minnesota, that was the case 1 week. But big sharp public split once again this week, KC-Denver?
Yeah, Kansas City +7 is where it came in. I got sharp money +7 -10, Kansas City +7 -115, and we're down to 5.5 now with Denver. So obviously the public's still backing Denver, and they're not going to stop, especially at a number like 5.5. It would kind of stem the tide of sharp money on Kansas City, but definite sharp play on Kansas City +7, and also the under as well. I mean, no surprise that I've got general public money on the over, about 3-1. The count on the number of wagers I've taken towards the over. My money slightly favors the over, but under 42.5 was sharp as well, Peter. So 2 sharp plays on that game, both the dog Kansas City and the under 42.5.
Not a surprise that Denver continues to be a big public play after a big upset loss like that. And I'm wondering if Carolina is or is not becoming another one of these public-backed teams week in and week out. They're 8-0 straight up, 6-2 against the spread, coming off of another win and cover against the Packers, a big road favorite here against Tennessee. Now, if this was Denver or one of the other teams that's typically a public-backed team in this spot, it would be a huge public play. Is Carolina taking big public action?
Yeah, I'm getting a ton of Carolina money, which is no surprise at all. My wager count is about 5-1, so almost 6-1, we'll call it, in favor of Carolina. And it's interesting that I've got sharp money on both sides of this game. It's all about the number right now. Right now we have Carolina -5. Tennessee +6 was sharp. Carolina -4.5 was also sharp. So we're sitting at 5 right now. My money's pretty much even. I count about 6-1 in favor of Carolina, so I wouldn't be surprised if that line gets driven up a little bit because of the public, and if the sharp's going to come back on Carolina, you'll see it drop. But put it this way, if you see that number drop, it's going to be because of sharp money for sure. But 5, I mean, it's one of those cases where if it drops, you can be pretty sure it's sharp money. If it goes up, it could be public money driving, and it's just a case of us trying to get some money back, and you kind of have an idea how far you have to go with the line. But it's safe to say that number dropped, it was sharp money.
Yeah.
I also have over money on this game as well, which is kind of becoming a trend with Carolina. Again, their defense is so good, but I mean they're still putting up a decent number of points as well. So the over count is about 3-1 as well. Money's about 4-1 there as well. So Carolina, the over is the new thing, I guess.
Okay, again, Brent, you've heard me give this opinion before. When there's two-way sharp action on a side, my sense is that the favorite side is usually the sharper side. Is that something you would generally agree with or not really?
I'll let you know Sunday afternoon.
Okay, all right. And then I want to ask about the Pats and Giants. The Pats are 5-1-1 against the spread over their last 7 games, and in each of their last 6 games, they've been a favorite of a touchdown or more. So that seems like it's a very dangerous thing for the books when the Pats are repeatedly covering week in and week out as a big favorite. Is that the case, that you've gotten big money on the Pats each week and lost with it?
Yeah. Thanks for rubbing that in, Peter.
Right, yeah.
I mean, the public's just not going to stop betting New England, and they haven't stopped betting in this case. You see the line where we are right now on Friday. We've got New England -7, -120, and I'm going to tell you that I've got a couple of different sharp guys who took the Giants +7 even money, which is the same line I'm using right now. Well, there's just so much money on New England. My wager count's about 6-1 in favor of the Patriots. So it's a case where you might say, well, why don't you drop your number? Why don't you drop your numbers? Well, I feel my chart is just, I got slightly more money on the Giants because of the bigger sharp bets, but it's just overwhelming in terms of the flow that comes in on New England. So I could probably sit the same number that the sharps already took and still, end up balanced on this game. Now, I have a feeling that we're probably going to drop down 7 minus 20. If this ended up at 7 flat, I wouldn't be surprised at all, or even lower. But this is another case where my count is way one way, my money slightly favors the other way, so it's a public count on New England, sharps on the Giants.
Interesting insights into how the money comes in on these games and how the bookmakers respond and adjust their lines. Brent, 3 interesting games we've already discussed. What can you tell us about the rest of the card for NFL Week 10?
I can tell you that the Green Bay Packers have lost 2 in a row, and you don't get a chance to say that very often. They're a home favorite against the fugly 1-7 Detroit Lions now. Plus 11.5 with sharp on Detroit.
But
I've got a lot of.
Brent, let me just stop you there. The Lions, I think, going back a few years, have repeatedly been a side that has taken sharp action, and my sense is that the sharps haven't lost every time with it, but they have a terrible win rate backing the Lions over the past couple of years, including this year.
The Lions have been a bad team for a while.
Yeah.
All I can do is tell you what the guys have bet, and I'm telling you that the Sharps took Detroit plus 11.5. My count is it's like, it's like 8-1 in favor of Green Bay. No surprise at all. You'd also expect the public to be all over Green Bay when they're playing, especially with a 10.5 point favorite. The public is all over the over. I've got some pseudo sharp money on the over as well, so that doesn't bode well for us. Over 47.5 and over 48 with some pseudo sharps. Public is all over the over as well. So, but the side is a definite sharp play in terms of Detroit plus the 11.5.
You also told us that the sharps came in big on Detroit in the London game. That was a terrible bet. Any way you slice it, that was just wrong.
It happens,
Yeah.
It's the old eggs and omelets theory. You got to break some eggs to make an omelet. Yeah. Look, if we look back over the years in the plays that we give out here, the sharp stuff, if we're probably hitting, the stuff hits like 58, maybe 59%, probably around there. I wouldn't be surprised. So, that does mean that we're going to lose 42 out of 100 games. Is Detroit one of those games that keeps on losing? I don't know. All I know is what they played. Miami Dolphins. Are you more interested in that?
Yes.
Can I tell you some Dolphins?
Yes, please.
Okay. Philadelphia is a 6-point favorite at home now. The sharp money came in on Miami at 6.5 minus 05. My count and money on straight bets actually favors Miami. When you factor in the teasers and parties and everything, it actually favors Philadelphia. So we're not in a crazy position for this game, but Miami plus 6.5 minus 05 was definitely a sharp play. Nothing sharp on the total, but I do want to point out that the next bet I take will be the first one on the under. We're at 49 right now. China's pseudo sharp action came in over 47.5. Excuse me, we're up to 49 right now. But I literally have 0 bets on the under right now, Peter. So if you want to log in right now and fire away, I'd appreciate that.
No.
That pretty much covered it. Detroit plus 11.5. Miami plus a 6.5, Kansas City plus the 7, Kansas City under 42.5, and the Giants plus 7 even money. Those are the sharp plays. The pseudo sharp plays was the Detroit Green Bay game over 47.5, Miami as well over 47.5. Teasers, the usual suspects: Green Bay, Carolina, New Orleans, New England. And I do want to touch on 2 games just to note: Dallas at Tampa Bay and Chicago at St. Louis. If those sound like ugly games, it's because the betting public certainly thinks so as well. The volume on those 2 games as of now, just atrocious.
Right. That doesn't surprise me too much. Brent, for BetDSI, thanks so much. We will talk to you again next week for NFL Week 11.